I've got a wild mini drift car for us to check out today, RC drivers. In my hands is the new Carisma GT24D Spec 2.0 with the Subaru Impreza body on it. And they've made some changes to really boost the performance of this car. It now has a brushless motor, locked diffs, and the hard plastic tires. And I'm here at my local hobby shop, the Hobby Center in Newtown, Connecticut, where they have an indoor track. We're gonna see if this is a drift king or a drift dud. Carisma's GT24 chassis has been around for a while, and it's actually a favorite for indoor racers. Let's get this thing out of the box and take a look at what's included. So we get an instruction manual, of course, and then 2 mystery boxes. So I'm gonna guess one of these is the radio system, which is this one. Yep, here we go, and some accessories in here. So there is the radio system itself, 2.4 gig, basic trims, and then here's your little bag of goodies. They even give you cones to drift around. That's pretty cool. USB charger, AA batteries, and the main pack is a nickel metal hydride. It's 7.2 volts. So you need to charge that up. Now let's get to the car. Where is this thing? I gotta see it. Box art looks pretty cool. Here it is all wrapped up. Let's check this thing out, guys. The colors are pretty wild on this one. Very cool Subaru Impreza style body. They put the driver figure there on the printed decal. I don't like when they do that. I just like it when it's just plain. But anyway, the graphics on the body itself look really cool. They got this high deck spoiler in the back, body clips to hold down the body. Wow, that's some serious wheel gap there. Look at that. That thing rides pretty high. It's almost like a rally car and not a drift car. But let's get the body off so we could take a look, see if we could see any of the changes made to this. 4 body clips, there we go. Any detail under the body? Nope. Here is the car itself, so check that out right there. The brushless motor and the ARC24 speed controller receiver combo. But let's look at the chassis. So it's just a plastic chassis. I think they changed up the battery door on this. The clip is much better. I think the old one used to slide out. Didn't like that, but this new clip-on battery door, that's very cool. A lot of space now in the chassis. I think it used to have a cover on top. Chassis itself, really rigid for a small scale car. For the suspension, they just have spring coils on here, and then it looks like double wishbone suspension setup. Again, this is 4-wheel drive, and now the differentials are locked out. So when I spin the wheels like this, you can see all 4 wheels spinning. That's going to help with this car to make it drift. The servo is actually a 3-wire servo. Now it looks like it's got a standard style plug on it, but the big deal again is this ARC24 brushless setup. Love that. That should give us plenty of power to go drifting, and that's what we need to do right now. I'm gonna throw a charge pack in here. We're gonna hit the track. Let's get this Subi up to the starting line and we'll go. Now the guys told me that there's a lot of traction to this track from racing. So drifting tends to not work as well here, but we're gonna give it a shot anyway. There we go, just gotta finesse it, I think. Kind of getting around like a race car without the right tires on it, basically. It's got some drift potential, I see. I think we just have a little too much traction at this track. I'm determined to get a little bit of sliding out of it. There we go, that was good. Just gotta finesse the throttle really, just like a drift car, and I'm getting it around pretty well. That was a good turn. I almost want to drive it like a race car. That's probably my problem. I think that body needs to be lowered down. I think there's a few more holes on the body post. You can lower it a little bit more, and I think it'll look really good. The steering response is good though. It's just a little inconsistent in those drifts. I can't put down 2 laps the same. So I had to bring the car somewhere where I knew it would drift, and this is the right spot, a basketball court. Look at this perfectly smooth, flat surface. Actually a little bit dusty too, I think it's helping out, but look at this. This is much better. It actually has some sort of drift form to it. Big power slide here, look at that. That's awesome. When you let off, it actually initiates pretty well, that corner. You get it tight around the cones, tighten it up even more. There we go, look at that. Knock over a cone. Tighten it up around the cone over here. Look at that. That's perfect. Awesome. Let's do a big arcing slide around the outside of this. Look at that. Oh, almost had some pretty good form all the way around. this is where it's at. Like if you have an indoor spot, like a big garage that's got a perfectly flat floor, big living room with hardwood floors or tile, this is probably a really good option if you got to get your drift on indoors in small spaces. Nice job with the upgrades, Carisma. So like other drift cars, it comes down to, do you have the right surface to drive on? As you saw at the track, not the greatest surface since it was high traction, but over here at the basketball court, where it's just a nice flat concrete surface, it was absolutely fun. Had a blast with this. Now this thing is $160. It's $10 more than the previous version. And just as a side note, they're blowing the previous version out at like $110. So if you want that one, I would suggest going for it now. But I think the changes to this are definitely worthy. A lot easier to drive now. The only thing I'd suggest you get for it is some additional battery packs because it goes through them pretty quick.